Chosen one, what I'm about to share with you is not for the ordinary. It's not for the casual listener. It's not for the one scrolling endlessly looking for entertainment. No, this is a divine interruption, a spiritual alarm sent directly to your soul. And if you have found this message, I need you to understand with everything in me, heaven has led you here. I wouldn't dare record this if it wasn't real. I wouldn't waste your time if it wasn't urgent, because something happened to me that forever changed my assignment, and it happened at a time most people are asleep, both physically and spiritually. It was exactly 3:17 a.m., not 3:15, not 3:20, but 3:17 a.m. I shot up out of my sleep with my entire body shaking uncontrollably. My hands were trembling, my heart was racing. It wasn't fear, it was power. It wasn't a nightmare, it was a divine encounter. The atmosphere in my room became heavy, but not with dread, with glory. It felt like eternity was pressing into time, like something ancient had found me. I could feel the weight of destiny sit right on my chest. I could barely catch my breath, and in the silence of that moment, I heard a voice that I've come to know very well. Get up. I'm about to show you something. Chosen one, what I was taken into was not a dream. It was not a thought. It was a vision. It was a realm beyond the natural, a realm of future manifestation. And to my shock, I didn't just see colors or places. I saw faces. I saw your face. I saw people watching this video who have been struggling in silence, wrestling with questions, carrying pain, fighting battles no one sees, but also carrying destiny far bigger than their current reality. I saw people who were chosen long before they were ever born, but on the edge of giving up because of how life has looked lately. And then I heard the voice of God say something that broke me. Only 1% will receive this message. Only 1% will believe it. Only 1% have been prepared for what I'm about to release into their lives. And when I heard that, I knew this message wasn't for everyone. Many will click away. Many will mock. Many will say this isn't for me. But for those few, for that 1%, for you, this is the sign your spirit has been waiting for. And I need to tell you this with full spiritual authority. I didn't want to deliver this message casually. I fought through hours of intercession. I endured spiritual attacks leading up to this video. I've lost sleep, I've lost people, I've lost comfort. Because to carry a word like this is to carry the weight of responsibility for souls who are about to step into the greatest shift of their lives. Chosen one, you need to know. This message found you because God has marked you, and what I saw about your future will leave you speechless. Chosen one, let me take you deeper into what happened to me that night. This wasn't an ordinary dream. This wasn't a random thought from my subconscious mind. No, this was a divine encounter, one that shook me to my very core. As I sat on the edge of my bed, heart racing, hands still trembling from what I had just experienced at 3:17 a.m., something began to shift in the atmosphere around me. The air itself changed. It was no longer the quiet of my room. It was like I had been pulled into a completely different dimension. The light in my room faded, not into darkness, but into a radiant glow. A color I can't even describe with human words. It wasn't white. It wasn't gold. It was living light. The walls around me seemed to dissolve, and suddenly I could feel myself being transported. Not physically, but spiritually, into a realm beyond anything this world can offer. The realm of future manifestation. It wasn't a place of confusion. It wasn't chaotic. It was perfect order. Divine alignment, like everything was operating according to a heavenly blueprint. And then, I began to hear sounds. It wasn't music from earth. It wasn't noise. It was the sound of creation responding to God's voice. Like every molecule was vibrating with power. Every frequency was praising. Every breath of the atmosphere was filled with life. And then the vision opened wider. I saw faces. Faces I didn't know personally, but instantly recognized in my spirit. Your face. Faces of people watching this video right now. People struggling silently, battling thoughts of defeat, living in environments that look nothing like the promise God spoke over them. But here's what broke me. As I looked at these faces, I didn't see them in their present condition. I saw them in their future manifestation. I saw chains falling off of them. I saw tears of joy where there had been years of sorrow. I saw them clothed in royalty. I saw laughter coming from bellies that hadn't laughed in years. I saw homes restored. I saw businesses flourishing. I saw gifts they didn't even know they had coming alive inside of them. I saw them walking into rooms that once rejected them, now being honored like never before. Chosen one, I saw you, walking boldly into a destiny so massive, so undeniable, so shocking, that even your enemies were standing speechless. But here's what hit me the hardest. As I stood there, overwhelmed, watching this prophetic unfolding of your future, I heard the voice of God echo through that realm. Tell my chosen ones what's coming. Not everyone, not those who are playing games with their purpose, not those who mock the prophetic, not those who have given their hearts to temporary things, but my chosen ones, the ones who stayed faithful when it hurt, the ones who prayed in private, the ones who kept sowing when nothing was growing, the ones who kept walking by faith while others laughed at them. Tell them, their future is already written, their breakthrough is already prepared, their season of manifestation is at the door. And in that moment, I broke down in tears, because I knew this message was costly. I knew delivering this word would demand sacrifice. But I also knew, whoever receives it, their life will never be the same. Chosen one, heaven told me to tell you, get ready, because what's coming next will silence every doubt and every enemy who ever questioned who you are. Chosen one, this is where everything becomes clear. This is why I had to deliver this message with trembling hands and a heart full of obedience, because the truth is, 99% of people who hear a message like this will miss their blessing completely. Not because God doesn't love them. Not because God hasn't prepared something beautiful for their life, but because their spiritual eyes are shut, their ears are dull, and their hearts are hardened by the noise of this world. Let me explain it to you with all the love and urgency in my spirit. Prophetic revelation is not like a social media post. It's not like an inspirational quote. It's not even like a sermon you casually listen to on a Sunday. Prophetic revelation is a divine code, a spiritual key, that unlocks doors in your future that human effort could never open. But here's the mystery. Only those with spiritual discernment will even recognize when a key is being handed to them. Without discernment, this message will sound like noise. Without discernment, this moment will feel like just another video. Without discernment, this voice will sound like just another person talking. That's why Jesus said, "He who has ears to hear, let him hear." Because not everyone listening is truly hearing. And this is where the 99% fail. Skepticism is their chain. They hear words like breakthrough, prophecy, divine favor, and their religious mindsets rise up in resistance. Oh, I've heard that before. That's too good to be true. God wouldn't do that for someone like me. Do you see it, chosen one? That's not discernment speaking. That's doubt dressed up as wisdom. That's the curse of familiarity. That's the tragedy of a mind trained by religion but empty of spiritual power. Because here's what most people don't understand. Religion teaches you rules, but the Spirit of God teaches you relationship. Religion shows you limitation, but revelation shows you destiny. The 99% will miss this blessing because they are too attached to the physical realm. They need to see before they believe. They need evidence before they trust. They need confirmation from people before they respond to God. But listen closely. Chosen one, the 1%, the divinely selected ones, operate differently. They feel a stirring in their spirit when a prophetic word is released. They recognize divine alignment in moments that others overlook. They understand that God doesn't waste words. If He is speaking, there is a reason. And they know what they can't see is often more real than what they can see. This world has trained people to depend on distractions, constant scrolling, endless opinions, material obsession. That's why many people cannot perceive when heaven is knocking. Their minds are full of noise, their hearts are full of anxiety, their spirits are asleep. But you, chosen one, you were different from the beginning. Your life has been marked by divine interruption. You don't fit into the systems of the world. You don't follow the crowd. You've been isolated. You've been misunderstood. And you've wondered why you feel things others ignore. It's because you are part of the 1% who are divinely selected to receive this revelation. And once you receive it fully in your spirit, nothing will stop the blessing that is coming for you. Not the economy, not your past, not what they said about you, not even your own doubts. Because this blessing isn't based on works, it's based on your spiritual position. Chosen, handpicked, marked for manifestation. Now tell me, are you part of the 99, or has heaven confirmed to you you belong to the 1%, chosen one, before a major move of God happens in your life? Heaven will always send signs ahead of the blessing. But these signs are not ordinary. These are supernatural confirmations that slip into your reality when you least expect them. They don't come to people who are casually living. They don't come to those who mock the mysteries of God. They are reserved only for those whose spirits have been positioned for transformation. And if you are part of the 1%, I guarantee you've been seeing these signs already. Let me reveal them to you, and watch how your spirit begins to tremble with confirmation. First, supernatural sign. The numbers won't leave you. Chosen one, you've been seeing repeating numbers everywhere. On the clock, on receipts, on license plates, on random buildings. And no matter how much you try to brush it off, it keeps happening. 1111, this is the number of divine alignment. God is placing you exactly where you need to be. This is not luck. This is destiny setting its course. 333, this is the mark of divine presence. It represents the Trinity surrounding you. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit watching over your next steps. 555, radical change is coming. Not small adjustments. Not little improvements. Radical. A new life being birthed out of the old. This is why your spirit has been feeling restless. Heaven is sending these numbers like flashing lights, screaming silently into your reality. Get ready. Second supernatural sign, the dream realm has opened. Chosen one, you have not been dreaming like you used to. These are not ordinary dreams. Some of you have been flying effortlessly, symbolizing spiritual elevation. God is lifting you above your current circumstances. Some of you have been receiving mysterious gifts, keys, letters, crowns, or unknown treasures. These are divine deposits of favor being released into your spiritual account. Some of you are seeing long-lost people, ancient places, or walking into unknown doors. These are prophetic symbols that heaven is unlocking access to your next season. This is not imagination. This is spiritual reality revealed in the night watches. Third supernatural sign, creation itself is speaking to you. Do not ignore the strange appearances of animals around you. Birds flying unusually close to you, symbolizing messages from heaven or freedom being announced over your life. Butterflies landing near you, symbolizing transformation, rebirth, and the end of a long season of struggle. Unusual encounters with dragonflies, ladybugs, or even repetitive sightings of feathers. These are all physical reminders that heaven is closer than you think. And maybe you felt it too. Heat radiating in your hands, tingling in your feet, goosebumps rushing over your body without warning. This is not random. This is not mere biology. This is energy from the divine realm touching your physical body. God is letting you feel what your spirit has already known. And if that wasn't enough, you've probably noticed how certain topics keep following you. Everywhere you turn, people are talking about elevation, breakthrough, preparation, destiny, different voices, different locations, same exact message. That is not a coincidence. That is divine orchestration. Heaven is relentless when it wants to get your attention. And now, I have to ask you, chosen one, have you been seeing these signs? Have you been feeling this shift? Because if you have, your life is standing at the edge of a supernatural move of God that no human hand can stop. You were marked from the beginning. You were called before you knew your own name. These signs are not just clues. They are evidence. Evidence that heaven is already surrounding you, watching over you, preparing you for the greatest transformation of your life. Are you ready to step into what has already been prepared for you? Chosen one, There is something about you that even you don't fully understand yet. There is a hidden potential inside of you. Something ancient, something sacred, something heaven placed deep within your soul long before you ever entered this physical world. And I need you to hear me. This potential was planted, not by accident, but by divine intention. You see, there are spiritual gifts inside of you that have been dormant, not because you are weak, not because you are forgotten, but because heaven has been waiting for the perfect moment to activate them. Yes, chosen one, heaven hides power inside of vessels that look ordinary, because God loves to shock the world with people nobody expected. Right now, as I speak these words, some of you are feeling chills. Others feel a tightness in their chest. A weight is sitting on you. That's not me. That's heaven pressing on your soul, because your hidden potential is closer to rising than ever before. Let me show you what's been hiding inside you. Some of you have the spiritual gift of wisdom, but life has tried to confuse you and silence your clarity. Some of you carry the gift of healing, not just physical healing, but emotional and generational healing. That's why people are always drawn to tell you their pain. Some of you are born to speak, to write, to create, to lead, but the enemy sent rejection early in your life to crush your confidence. Others of you carry the rare gift of discernment. You sense energies, motives, and atmospheres before others even notice. Chosen one, these are not talents you learned. These are divine codes embedded in your DNA. Your ancestors prayed for this. Your bloodline carries blessings that were locked up for you to receive. There were promises made by heaven over your family line, promises that skipped past generations because you were chosen to be the one to carry them into manifestation. But here is why they haven't fully manifested yet. These gifts are powerful, and heaven will never release power into a person not yet prepared to steward it. If God had given you full access to your potential years ago, it would have overwhelmed you. You weren't ready. The attacks you went through, the isolation, the confusion, the betrayals, they weren't punishment. They were preparation. Every wound shaped you. Every tear watered the seeds of your calling. And now, we are entering what heaven calls a cosmic unlocking. Chosen one, the stars have shifted. The heavens are opening. The divine clock has struck the appointed time. Your hidden potential is no longer staying underground. Your dreams will sharpen. Your gifts will intensify. Opportunities will chase you. Doors that rejected you will open without you knocking. People who overlooked you will look again, but this time they will see what God always saw. Your name is being whispered in rooms you've never entered, because heaven has decided it's time. It's time for you to step fully into what you were always called to become, not for your glory, but for the glory of the one who planted greatness inside of you from the very beginning. Chosen one, get ready. The unlocking has already begun. Chosen one, let me tell you a true story. A story about a man named Michael, because some of you watching me right now, you are standing exactly where Michael once stood. Confused, doubting, questioning if this message is really for you. But hear me. Heaven sent me to tell you Michael's story because what happened to him is a prophetic preview of what's about to happen to you. In early 2023, Michael was at his lowest. Nothing was working. He had lost his job. His relationship had crumbled. His mind was restless every night, battling thoughts of fear, unworthiness, and regret. He told me later, "I thought maybe God forgot about me." But something happened. One night at exactly 2:22 a.m., Michael woke up suddenly. His heart was racing. No sound, no warning, no explanation. Just a powerful sense that something was in the room with him. He didn't see it with his physical eyes, but deep in his spirit, he knew a presence was there. He shook it off. He ignored it. But then it started. The first sign, he began seeing repeating numbers everywhere. 1111 on the microwave, 333 on license plates, 555 on receipts. He thought it was coincidence until it happened daily in ways that shook his logical mind. The second sign, he started having strange dreams, dreams of flying high above cities, dreams of receiving ancient keys from a bright figure, dreams where voices whispered, "You are chosen for more." When he woke up, he would feel an unexplainable warmth in his hands, sometimes tingling, sometimes vibrating. Again, he brushed it off, until the third sign appeared. Animals. Birds landing near him, butterflies following him on his walks. One day, after praying desperately for a sign, a white dove landed right outside his window and stared at him for several minutes. He broke down crying. Chosen one. This was no accident. Michael's life was being prepared for the unlocking of his destiny. Soon after these signs intensified, doors began opening out of nowhere. A former colleague reached out with a business opportunity. Unexpected financial provision appeared through ways he could not have humanly orchestrated. But greater than the material blessing, Michael's spirit awoke. He told me, "I realized God had been talking to me all along. I just wasn't listening." His relationship with God deepened. He no longer chased after success, he aligned with purpose. And success began chasing him. As I speak to you now, Michael is thriving, not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. And here is what I need you to understand. Michael didn't get this breakthrough because he was perfect. He got it because he responded to the signs. He shifted from skepticism to surrender. And chosen one, I'm looking at you right now. What if you are Michael? What if this message is the exact sign you've been praying for? What if the numbers you've been seeing, the dreams you've been having, the strange moments you keep brushing off, are heaven's way of saying, it's your time next? Do not ignore this moment, because just like Michael, your story is about to change. Forever. Chosen one. There is something most people will never understand about the season we are entering, because what's coming in the final quarter of 2025 is not ordinary. This is not just another year ending. This is not just another cycle closing. This is a divine alignment that has been written long before you were even born. Listen to me carefully. For thousands of years, ancient prophets, mystics, and spiritual seers spoke about a rare moment. A moment in time when celestial doors would open and certain souls would be positioned perfectly to walk through them. That moment is the final quarter of 2025. Let me break this down for you. Spiritually, time is not measured the way the world measures it. In the physical world, we follow calendars, clocks, and dates. But in the spiritual world, there are cycles. There are seasons. There are windows that heaven has designated for the release of power, favor, and blessings. And 2025's final quarter, from October to December, is what I call the divine intersection. Here's why. During this time, several powerful celestial alignments will take place. Ancient star patterns will return. Planetary shifts will occur, bringing about what spiritual teachers call blessing portals. These portals are moments when heaven touches earth in an accelerated way. What would normally take 10 years to manifest can happen in 10 days. What would require decades of effort can happen in divine moments of favor. But here's the key. Not everyone will benefit from this timing. Only those who are aligned in spirit, in obedience, in purpose. And this is where you come in. Because what I saw in my divine vision, what I felt shaking through my body at 3:17 a.m., was that you are one of the chosen ones marked for this alignment. But I must warn you, this type of cosmic convergence happens once in several lifetimes. It's rare. It's precious. It's the kind of moment your ancestors dreamed about. The ancient prophecies foretold of a generation who would live to see the merging of the spiritual and the natural realms. A generation who would rise into their divine destiny because the heavens themselves would declare it. And I am here to tell you, this generation is you. Your life has not been random. Every delay, every heartbreak, every rejection, every sleepless night, it's all been preparing you for this moment in time. Your personal timeline has been secretly aligning with the cycles of heaven. The lessons you've learned, the wisdom you've gained, the tears you've cried, have positioned you perfectly. You didn't miss your moment. Your moment was waiting for you to mature, waiting for you to wake up, waiting for you to receive this message. Because when October through December of 2025 arrives, the portals of favor, blessing, and supernatural unlocking will be open, But only those who recognize the timing, only those who prepare their spirit, will enter. Chosen one, the countdown has begun. Heaven is watching, creation is groaning, and all of the universe is aligning for your emergence. This is why you're seeing the signs. This is why your dreams are intensifying. This is why this message found you. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are right on schedule for one of the rarest blessings heaven has ever released on earth. Prepare your heart, because when this moment comes, everything in your life will shift forever. Chosen one, I need you to understand something right now, something most people will never see with their natural eyes. There are divine forces, mighty, invisible powers, moving right now behind the scenes of your life. You may not feel them, you may not see them, but heaven has already sent warrior angels on assignment to dismantle every obstacle standing in your path. Listen to me. There are things that have been blocking you for years. Walls you could not climb, doors that refused to open, relationships that drained your spirit, financial struggles that seemed impossible to break, battles in your health, your mind, your family. But what you didn't know is this. All along, God was allowing certain barriers to remain in place, not to punish you, but to position you. Let me explain. Some of those delays were divine protection. Some of those closed doors were divine redirection. Some of those betrayals were heaven's way of clearing the wrong people out of your destiny. But now, the season has shifted. The timing has arrived, and the obstacles that once stood like mountains in front of you are being demolished by the hand of God Himself. Right now, angelic intervention is happening in areas you thought were beyond repair. In the legal realm, cases are turning in your favor. Documents that were lost are being found. Delays in approvals are being reversed. In the financial realm, resources that were blocked are being released. Unexpected blessings are coming from unknown sources. Divine connections are being assigned to carry wealth to your doorstep. In the relational realm, toxic connections are being severed. Wrong friendships are being exposed. False lovers are being removed. True kingdom relationships are being prepared for you. And all of this is happening behind the veil in the spiritual realm, long before you see it in the natural world. This is spiritual warfare, not in chaos, but in precision. Heaven's armies are working with surgical accuracy to clear your path. And what looks like confusion in your life is actually divine construction. God is not tearing you down, He is tearing barriers down. The pain of the past was never punishment, it was preparation. And now, the next phase begins, supernatural acceleration. Chosen one, this means things will begin to move faster than you expect. Doors that stayed shut for 10 years will swing open in 10 days. Dreams you thought were dead will resurrect in a single conversation. Opportunities you never applied for will come looking for you. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is divine orchestration. Heaven has declared a new order over your life. Obstacles, be removed. Watch how relationships shift. Watch how finances multiply. Watch how health is restored. Watch how your name rises in rooms you've never entered. Because once God clears the path, no demon in hell, no person on earth, no past mistake can stop what is coming. Chosen one, prepare for speed. You have been positioned, you have been protected, and now you will be propelled. This is your season of supernatural acceleration. It has already begun. Chosen one, I need to tell you about a woman named Rebecca. Her story is not ordinary. It is divine proof that when God speaks a word over your life, no force on earth can stop its fulfillment. But what's so powerful about her journey is that she almost missed it. Let me take you there. It was late 2021 when Rebecca sat in the back of a small church, frustrated, tired, and skeptical. She had been overlooked for promotions, rejected by people she trusted, stuck in a career that drained her soul, and quietly, she was angry with God. That night, a prophetic voice stood before the congregation and released a word. There is a woman here. God says you will soon be positioned in places you never applied for. Your career is about to become a testimony to nations. Rebecca shook her head in silence. She thought, not me. I've heard it all before. She left that service feeling mocked by the message, believing it was just another empty religious moment that had nothing to do with her reality. But here's where everything changed. Over the next few weeks, divine coincidences began to chase her down. Strangers approached her saying, "I feel led to tell you, God hasn't forgotten about your career." Job recruiters began emailing her about positions she never applied for. She would overhear random conversations about breakthrough, destiny, and unexpected favor. In coffee shops, grocery stores, even while walking down the street. At first, she brushed it off. But then, the dreams started. Night after night, she saw herself standing on stages, traveling across countries, managing teams of people. Dreams so real, she would wake up with tears in her eyes. And then came the final sign. She was sitting in her living room when a video popped up on her phone, much like the one you are watching right now. And the words hit her spirit like thunder. God says you've been overlooked long enough, but divine reversal is here. Rebecca broke down. She realized this wasn't coincidence. This was confirmation. She surrendered her doubt. She opened her heart, and what happened next could only be described as divine fulfillment beyond human imagination. Within 6 months, a global company reached out to her. They offered her a position higher than she had ever dreamed. They paid for her relocation. They increased her salary by 5 times what she previously earned. And within a year, Rebecca found herself speaking on international stages, mentoring women in leadership and testifying that the very word she once rejected became the very life she was now living. Chosen one, hear me. Rebecca's story was never about instant belief. It was about persistent grace. She didn't get everything right. She doubted. She mocked the message. She almost missed it, but God didn't give up on her. And just like Rebecca, you may be in a season of frustration. You may have ignored the signs. You may have thought, this can't be for me. But heaven sent me here to tell you, it is for you. You are not watching this by accident. You are not hearing this by mistake. Every divine coincidence in your life has been building to this moment. And just like Rebecca, your testimony will be greater than your doubt. Your fulfillment will exceed every rejection. And what God spoke over your life will not return empty. Chosen one, prepare yourself. Your divine fulfillment is already in motion. Chosen one, you need to hear this with all the seriousness your soul can carry. There are rare moments in human history when the heavens themselves lean closer to the earth, when invisible forces synchronize for those who are spiritually awake. And I need you to understand something that most people will never know. Right now, this very season, you are standing inside one of the greatest divine alignments humanity has seen in centuries. Listen carefully, for this is not coincidence. In the spiritual realm, alignments of planets create shifts in energy flows. These are not empty superstitions. These are ancient laws God designed into creation itself. Genesis says the sun, moon, and stars were created for signs and seasons, but only the spiritually aware recognize them. And right now, the planets of favor, breakthrough, and restoration are lining up like a sacred procession. This is a convergence that happens once in several lifetimes. It's as if heaven has stretched its hand closer to earth, waiting for the chosen ones to step forward. But this isn't just about the stars above. This is about the numbers stamped into your life. The day you were born, the time you arrived, the sequence of events in your history. They were not random. Many of you have seen repeating numbers, 7s, 3s, 11, 11, 222, and dismissed them as coincidence. But heaven says these are your spiritual codes, numerical alignments that mark your journey. Even the ancient scriptures reveal this pattern. Every 7 years in biblical history marked cycles of release, restoration, and blessing. And right now, as 2025 moves closer to its final quarter, we are stepping into the end of a 7-year purification cycle globally. What does this mean for you? It means every pain you've endured since 2018, every betrayal, every closed door was not punishment, it was preparation. The heavens have waited for this moment, for you to awaken to your true positioning. The disappointments were never rejection, They were divine delays to position you for supernatural release. And now, acceleration has begun. This is why you felt restless. This is why your dreams have intensified. This is why your spirit has been uneasy. Because your soul knows what your mind is just beginning to comprehend. Everything is lining up. Your prayers have built a reservoir in heaven. Your tears have watered the ground of your destiny, and the harvest is being commanded to appear faster than ever before. But hear me. Only those who recognize the signs, who prepare their hearts, who refuse to be distracted, will walk through the doors opening now. Chosen one, your alignment is not future tense, it is now. Heaven has been waiting on you. Chosen one, listen very carefully, because while you've been worrying, doubting, and sometimes even crying yourself to sleep, heaven has been busy working on things your eyes cannot yet see. I was shown in the spirit something that left me completely speechless. What God is preparing for you is not something small, temporary, or ordinary. It is something heavenly engineered to exceed every human expectation. There are blessings already in motion. Contracts being written in unseen realms. Opportunities already bearing your name, waiting for divine timing to release them. I saw a vision of a divine storage room. It wasn't just a place of random blessings. It was meticulously organized, filled with personalized packages. Names were attached to every blessing. Names written in light, glowing with a brilliance not of this world, and I saw your name there. I saw resources being gathered, financial blessings, business connections, healing miracles, restoration of relationships, divine opportunities for elevation, but they weren't being rushed. They were being perfected, tailored, customized by God's own hand. He showed me a principle that few understand. Harvest is always prepared before planting. The world teaches us to sow and wait. But in the spirit realm, God prepares the harvest before He allows you to step into the sowing season. He has already lined up the people who will favor you. He has already arranged circumstances that will shock you. There are kings who don't even know they will bless you yet. There are leaders who will fight battles on your behalf without knowing your name, because heaven has placed your blessing assignment in their spirit. This is why delay doesn't mean denial. While you've been questioning why doors have been shut, heaven has been constructing a palace behind the scenes. Divine networking is happening without your effort. Angels have been dispatched to influence hearts, to bring your name into rooms you have never entered, to prepare the ground for your arrival. I saw strangers who will bless you simply because God told them to. I saw lost opportunities returning like waves crashing back to the shore. I saw relationships being healed because unseen hands are softening hearts even now. And I heard these words thunder in my spirit, "Tell my chosen ones, the table is being set while they sleep." Understand this truth. Your season of lack was never punishment. It was positioning. You were being hidden while your blessing was being assembled. But now the clock of heaven is ticking towards release. The divine pieces are almost in place. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared for fullness. Get ready. The behind-the-scenes activity is about to become public testimony. Heaven's strategy is unfolding. The stage is set. The blessing is already yours. It's only waiting for the divine curtain to lift. Chosen one, hear me clearly. Every divine revelation comes with a test of resistance, and that resistance often arrives disguised as familiar faces, family members, friends, co-workers, even religious people who wear the mask of faith but operate in fear and unbelief. I must warn you, with all the weight of spiritual urgency, not everyone is equipped to handle what God is about to do in your life. There are people assigned to discourage you. There are voices waiting to mock what you've received in the secret place. And if you're not careful, their doubt can corrupt your destiny before it even manifests. In my vision, I saw chosen souls, radiant with divine favor, stepping into new realms of abundance and influence. But circling them were shadowy figures whispering lies. That's impossible. That's not from God. You're imagining things. Don't get your hopes up. These voices are not random. They are strategically sent to suffocate your faith before your breakthrough is born. And let me tell you, the devil doesn't attack empty vessels. He attacks the pregnant ones carrying glory. You must understand the principle of guarding the seed. When a farmer plants a seed, he covers it, not to hide it, but to protect it while it grows unseen. Spiritually, this means you cannot share everything God shows you with everybody. Revelation is sacred. Prophecy is not for public entertainment. The Bible says in Matthew 7:6, "Do not cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them underfoot and turn to attack you." Not everyone is qualified to handle the weight of what God whispered to your spirit. So here's what I need you to do. Create spiritual boundaries. When someone responds to your vision with mockery or fear, do not argue. Do not explain. Simply smile and retreat into your secret place with God. Their disbelief is not your assignment. Their blindness is not your burden. God did not show them what He showed you. Because they were not chosen to carry it, you were. Protect your divine momentum. Cover your prophetic pregnancy with prayer. And wait, because the day is coming soon when the very ones who doubted you will witness undeniable evidence of what you carried all along. But until then, remain silent where necessary. Be discerning about who you share your next move with. Every chosen one is called to move in wisdom, because premature exposure can lead to spiritual miscarriage. And remember, your obedience in guarding this revelation is proof that you are ready for what's coming. Stay hidden, stay faithful, stay unshakable, because what God is preparing for you is far too valuable to risk in the hands of the unworthy. Chosen one, listen very carefully, for this is the moment where everything shifts. What I am about to share with you is not ordinary advice. This is not a casual suggestion. This is a divine commandment sent directly from the realm of the Spirit. What I saw in the vision is this: blessings that are already prepared, doors already created, miracles already written in heaven's archives, but they are suspended, waiting for your activation. The Spirit of God showed me clearly that without the correct action from you, the blessing remains dormant, powerless, locked behind a spiritual veil. But when you step into obedience, when you do what heaven requires, you create an explosive chain reaction in the spirit world that releases what belongs to you. The first thing you must understand is this: the blessing must be called forth. Nothing moves in the spiritual realm until something is spoken on earth. I saw ancient scrolls in the vision, heavenly documents with names written on them, waiting for the sound of your voice to release them. This is why the power of declaration and decree is absolutely vital for you right now. I was instructed to tell you that every morning before the sun rises, you must stand up, even if your body feels weak, even if doubt whispers in your ear, and boldly declare with your mouth, "I am God's chosen one. My life is aligned with divine favor. Every promise assigned to my name is manifesting now. No force on earth or in hell can block what God has prepared for me. I am unstoppable. I am blessed. I am favored. I am walking into overflow." These are not just words. These are spiritual codes that vibrate through the realms and command angelic forces to move on your behalf. But there is more. In the vision, I saw a specific time of spiritual power, between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m., what heaven calls the watchman's hour. If you can rise during this time, even for 7 minutes, and declare the words I just gave you while visualizing doors opening, contracts being signed, healings taking place, debts being erased, you will accelerate what was scheduled for later. The timeline of your blessing will collapse into the now. But that's not all. I was shown the act of visualization. This is not empty imagination. This is prophetic sight training. The Spirit of God wants you to close your eyes after you declare those words and see yourself already walking in the blessing. Picture yourself healed. Picture yourself wealthy. Picture yourself in rooms of influence. Picture yourself surrounded by people who honor and love you. This is not foolishness. This is heavenly technology that has been hidden from the masses, revealed only to the spiritually awake. And finally, I must share the sacred scripture heaven told me to release over you. Psalm 84:11. For the Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord bestows favor and honor. No good thing does he withhold from those who walk uprightly. This verse is not just comfort, it is a divine guarantee. You are not begging for blessings, you are aligning for what is already yours. The activation requirement is simple but powerful. Speak it, declare it, visualize it, and believe it beyond what your natural eyes can see. You are not waiting on God. Heaven is waiting on you. Everything has already been prepared, but only your obedience can unlock the floodgates. Chosen one, I am telling you, what's coming is bigger than your past, stronger than your enemies, and faster than your mind can calculate. But you must rise, you must speak, you must declare. Heaven is leaning in, ready to move, but the question is, will you activate your blessing or let it remain buried in silence? The time is now. Let me tell you about David and Sarah, a story that still gives me chills every time I recall it. This is not some random tale I read about. This is a real couple who lived through something so profound, so divine, that their testimony has become a blueprint for what's about to happen in your life. For 7 relentless years, David and Sarah were trapped in what looked like an unbreakable cycle of suffering. Financially, they were drowning. Their business collapsed overnight due to circumstances outside their control. Their savings evaporated like mist. Debt collectors were circling. They faced eviction notices more than once. To make matters worse, Sarah was battling a mysterious health condition that no doctor could diagnose properly. Their home was filled with silence, frustration, and the lingering question, God, where are you? But what they didn't realize was that heaven was setting them up for a divine reversal, unlike anything they could have imagined. It all began when David stumbled upon a prophetic message, one he almost ignored. But something in his spirit wouldn't let him scroll past. It was as if the words were vibrating in his chest. The message spoke directly to their situation, about a 7-year cycle of testing coming to an end and the beginning of a multiplication principle being released. At first, David was skeptical. After all, how could a word from someone he had never met possibly know the private battles of their life? But then, one by one, the signs began to appear. First, Sarah's health began to stabilize, not through medicine, but through an unexplainable peace that settled over her body. Then a former client, long thought lost, reached out to David unexpectedly, offering a business opportunity he wasn't even seeking. Within weeks, streams of income started flowing from places they never anticipated. But here's where it becomes undeniable. David and Sarah began applying the multiplication principle they learned. It involved not hoarding their small blessings, but sowing them in faith. They gave when it didn't make sense. They helped others still struggling, even when their own situation wasn't fully restored. They operated in generosity when logic told them to hold back. Then it happened. The same business that once failed was resurrected, but this time it exploded beyond their wildest imagination. Partnerships came from overseas. Their names were spoken in boardrooms they had never entered. And the wealth that flowed wasn't just money, it was influence, it was health, it was restoration of their family ties, and above all, it was evidence that when God multiplies, He does it beyond human comprehension. What's even more shocking is that David and Sarah's journey followed a divine pattern connected to ancient principles. The 7-year struggle wasn't random. It mirrored the biblical cycles of testing and release. And their eventual breakthrough wasn't luck. It was the manifestation of seeds planted long before they saw any harvest. Now listen carefully. This is why their story matters to you. You may be standing at the very edge of your own 7-year wilderness season. You may feel buried, overlooked, forgotten. But just like David and Sarah, heaven has not been silent about your future. The signs are already showing. The dreams, the strange coincidences, the unexpected peace in moments of chaos. All of this is proof that your multiplication season is being whispered from the throne room of heaven. Their testimony is not meant to entertain you. It is meant to provoke you into faith-driven action. What God did for them, He is ready to do for you. But remember, they received it because they believed before they saw it. They sowed before they harvested. They obeyed before they understood. You are next. Prepare your spirit. Prepare your hands. Prepare your heart. Multiplication is coming, and it will shatter every limitation you thought would define your life. Listen very carefully, because what I'm about to reveal is not random. It is not guesswork. It is a divine sequence that very few will understand until it begins to happen in their life. What I saw in the vision was not just a blessing. It was a scheduled release, a holy countdown already activated in the spiritual realm, and the timing is far more unexpected than most people could ever imagine. The first phase begins subtly. For many of you, this will start between May 17th and June 30th, 2025. But don't expect fireworks at first. The earliest signs will almost feel like discomfort. Things that no longer serve your divine purpose will begin to fall apart. Certain friendships, jobs, habits, and even thought patterns will feel like they're collapsing. Not because you failed, but because heaven is making room for the blessing that's about to descend. This is the pruning phase. It will feel like subtraction, but in the spirit, it's multiplication in disguise. The second phase begins in mid-2025, specifically between July 7th and August 27th, 2025. This is when supernatural alignment starts moving faster than you can comprehend. Expect to meet people you were never supposed to meet, but suddenly they'll be there, positioned by God. Opportunities will come that you didn't apply for. Resources will show up that you didn't ask for. Dreams will come alive again. And not small dreams. I'm talking about visions you buried because you thought they were impossible. This is the acceleration period, and it will feel like time is bending for your benefit. The same doors that were once locked will swing open effortlessly, but only for those who stayed faithful in the pruning phase. The final phase is what shocked me most in the vision. Between September 9th and December 15th, 2025, this is the harvest phase. But here's the twist. It will not look like harvest at first glance. For some, it will come disguised as a challenge, an offer that seems too big, an opportunity that feels intimidating, a responsibility that feels overwhelming. But hear me, that is the marker. That is the sign that your manifestation is here. The blessing God is releasing will not fit comfortably within your current skill set, because it's designed to stretch you into your next dimension. This is why the enemy will try to intimidate you at this stage, because fear is the final barrier before breakthrough. And for those who ask, how will I know it's happening for me? Pay attention to 3 unmistakable markers. Divine interruptions, sudden changes in your schedule or location that lead to blessings. Repeated numerical confirmations, particularly seeing 717, 911, or 1212 repeatedly. An undeniable internal shift, a peace that surpasses all understanding, even when circumstances still look uncertain. This is not ordinary timing. This is prophetic timing. Heaven has synchronized your life with divine precision. But remember, these dates are not deadlines. They are doorways. If you are ready, if you are expectant, and if you have guarded the seed of this word in your heart, you will not miss what is about to be released. Your future is not waiting for you in the far distance. It is standing just beyond your last test of faith, and when it arrives, it will happen faster than you prayed for and bigger than you dreamed of. Prepare yourself. The timeline is set, the heavens are watching, and your name is already written in the blessing that is coming. Chosen one, hear me loud and clear, because these words are not just words. This is a divine decree over your life. By the authority of heaven, I declare over you right now, your future is marked by glory. Your name is being whispered in rooms you haven't even entered yet. Your destiny is unfolding faster than the enemy can respond. You are stepping into a season where every delay is turning into acceleration, every loss is becoming gain, every closed door is about to swing open by the hand of God Himself. This is not an ordinary year. This is not an ordinary message. This is a divine timeline moment. 2025, especially the final quarter, will not just be another chapter in your life. It will be the chapter that changes everything. This is the window your ancestors prayed for. This is the season prophets saw in visions. This is the alignment angels have been preparing you for. Through every tear, every battle, every lonely night, every unanswered question. But listen, as powerful as this blessing is, 99% of people will miss it. Not because God hasn't prepared it, not because the opportunity isn't real, but because their hearts will not be ready. Skepticism will blind them. Distraction will choke them. Fear will paralyze them. They will laugh at messages like this and go back to their ordinary lives. But you, O chosen one, you were never called to be ordinary. You were never created to blend in. You were born to break generational curses. You were born to rise above limitation. You were born to be the exception. And I need you to understand, you are accountable for what you've just heard. You cannot unhear this. This seed has been planted in your spirit, and heaven is watching to see what you will do with it. So, here is your first action step. Right now, wherever you are, declare this with boldness. I am chosen by God. I am prepared for the blessing. I will not miss my moment. My destiny is unfolding. My time is now. Say it again, out loud. Write it somewhere you will see every day. Put it on your wall, your phone, your mirror. Because when the blessing starts to manifest, when the doors fly open, when the divine partnerships arrive, when your life begins to look unrecognizable, you will remember this moment. You will remember this message, and you will know this was never coincidence. This was prophecy. This was preparation. This was God. And when people ask you how it all happened so fast, how you came from nowhere, how you overcame the impossible, you will smile and say, it was already written. Now prepare yourself, because the blessing is closer than you think. And nothing, I mean nothing, can stop what God is about to do in your life.